Welcome to episode number 6 of my Road to DipWSET vlog. This vlog is going to consist of 12 different videos. Every Friday I post a new video of myself tasting and analyzing a specific wine according to the WSET systematic approach to tasting. By utilizing the systematic approach to tasting, I'll be able to assess the wine's quality as well as its readiness for drinking. I hope that these videos encourage you to spend more time with the amazing wines being produced in South Africa, as well as give you a little bit more confidence when it comes to purchasing through some basic understanding. The wines tasted over this 12-week period will be included into a mixed case of 12 which you could get your hands on. All you need to do is make a donation towards my campaign that I recently set up on BackaBuddy. This campaign was set up to help me generate the necessary funds needed to apply to WSET for the diploma in wines. The diploma in wines through WSET is an expert wine diploma and is the last step I need to take before I'm eligible to enroll to the Institute of Masters of Wine. The link that you'll need to make a donation towards this campaign will be found across all my social media platforms. I'd like to thank all of you who have already made a contribution towards my campaign, and to all these amazing producers who have been kind enough to sponsor the wines for these videos. The support that I've received thus far means the world to me, so thank you. So let's get down to business. Wine number 6, the Smugglers Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend by Richard Kershaw. Richard comes from the UK and was actually a chef prior to him finding his passion for wine. In 1999, Richard relocated to South Africa and within a 10-year time frame became group winemaker of well-known brands Mildebosch as well as Carnu. Richard is well known for producing premium wines which are incredibly exclusive. His clonal selection shows off wines which are precise, pure, elegant as well as well textured, and wines that have the ability to showcase exactly where they're from. When speaking about clones, I don't mean clone. Let me break it down for you. Vineyards of the same grape varietal are somewhat identical, yet if you had two vines of the same varietal growing next to one another, over time you'll start noticing the slightest of variations between the two. This happens because of potential mutations that occur during growth. Sometimes these mutations are positive and can lead to better fruit as well as better disease resistance. So what winemakers can do is take these vines with positive mutations and try to reproduce them. Winemakers are able to do this through cutting part of the vineyard and then replanting it, or by layering, which is the process of taking part of the cane and then bending it over so that part of it is underneath the ground, and then eventually that part takes root and it's cut from the original plant. A cane is a mature shoot and looks like this. Through both of these procedures, the new plant will end up being identical to the original. And this is what we call clonal selection. Clonal selection gives winemakers the opportunity to plant the best varietal for a specific climate or soil type. Around the world, there are only 10 masters of wine who are actively producing their own wines, and Richard Kershaw is one of them. So rest assured that when you try Richard Kershaw wines for the first time, you'll be trying some of the most exquisite wines being produced in South Africa right now. The Smugglers Boot range over here is a range from Richard Kershaw which is more accessible to the everyday consumer. The Smugglers Boot range is a range where Richard uses a variety of winemaking methods to produce unique wines which are not just quirky but also incredibly delicious. The name Smugglers Boot comes from the time where there were trade bans on South Africa. Winemakers and wine growers would smuggle vineyard material into the country by hiding cuttings on the inside of their Wellington boots. Therefore, Richard introduced the Smugglers Boot range as a tribute to all those winemakers who showed sheer commitment as well as determination for the wine industry of South Africa. I have the utmost respect for all those winemakers and those wine growers who took those kinds of risks back in the day. If it wasn't for all those individuals, the South African wine culture or industry would not be as prolific as it is today. I'd say that's enough from me. How's about to crack on with that evaluation? Great, so now that I've analyzed the wine, let's take a look at my notes. Firstly, I've got to say, it's not as if I didn't expect it, but the quality of this wine from Richard Kershaw is absolutely mind-boggling. The vintage of this wine is 2017, and that right there blows the myth of white wines can't age straight out of the water. I truly believe that there are so many people out there robbing themselves of this kind of experience just because of that mindset. For the color, I gave the wine medium lemon. On the nose, the wine carries a medium plus aroma intensity. The aromas include lime, ripe yellow apples, a touch of elderflower, some flint, salted butter, and a hint of nuts. On the nose, I could pick out primary, secondary, as well as tertiary aromas. Therefore, I said that the wine is developing. To distinguish between the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary aromas, primary is the fruit, secondary would be winemaking practices, and tertiary would be the development of the wine. On the palate, I said that the wine is dry and carries a medium plus acidity even though it's 4 years old. The blending of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon is quite popular in the winemaking world. Sauvignon Blanc is generally high in natural acidity and boasts a flavor profile of citrus as well as green fruit. The wine is normally light in body and is uncomplicated. Semillon, however, has more of a stone fruit as well as floral profile, with a beeswax oiliness about itself. Semillon also carries weight, texture, and has a lower acidity level versus Sauvignon Blanc. So those two grapes together are capable of producing wines of intense flavor and mouth-watering complexity. The wine carries a medium alcohol, giving weight to a medium body. I gave this wine a medium body because I'd easily be able to enjoy it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On the palate, the wine has a medium plus flavor intensity with flavors of yellow apple, some dried apricot, white peach, lemon peel, honey, a little bit of marmalade, as well as toast. I know that Richard uses a proportion of oak in the making of this wine, and the combination of oak, breathable tanks, as well as inert vessels gives the wine an amazing balance between that fresh fruit character and elements of oak. When it comes to the assessment of quality for wines, we use the Blick system where we score wines on their balance, their length, the intensity, as well as the complexity. For the Smugglers boots over here, I scored the wine a point for balance, half a point for length, a point for intensity, as well as a point for complexity. Therefore, giving the Smugglers boots an overall quality assessment of very good verging on outstanding. For the readiness of drinking, I said that this wine drinks incredibly well right now, although it has potential for further aging. And this brings us to the conclusion of episode number 6. Before I love and leave you, I need you all to remember that there's no standard when it comes to your enjoyment for wine. And remember, be kind and drink good wine. That's tasty.